I'm Kanchan from Akulmet Technologies, and you are welcome to the show, The Great Kings of India. Today we have a very distinguished personality. Before I tell you about her name, let me tell you what she is and what she has been doing. She is a professor of ancient India history in Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. She has a great experience in teaching international students and thus creating a knowledge base for foreign students, and thus giving awareness and information about our rich culture and tradition. She has been guiding scholars to do PhD. A part of this, she has tremendous amount of publication on ancient India tradition. So before, I don't want to waste any moment. I would like to introduce you all to the Professor Bindi Paranjpai. Welcome to the show, Bindi. How are you?
I'm just fine, and I'm excited about this idea that I'll be talking to you people and students or younger minds who are joined with you, and it's a great opportunity. Thank you very much. Today we'll be introduced to one of the greatest rulers of ancient India. His name was Harshavardhan. I think this is so important that he actually increased the joy of his people, and his name was Harshavardhana, the one who increases the joy of people.
Yes, we are ready to listen about this great king, and please tell us about this.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so let me take you way back by about 1300 years or so. This ruler was ruling from Thaneshwar, Kanauj, that is today's Farrukhabad district of Uttar Pradesh, and he was one of the most revered, most liked king of ancient India. He ruled in first half of the 7th century AD. That's how I said that let me take you back to 1300 years of Indian history. We have lot of good sources to know about him. One, the famous book Harshacharitam, written by Banabhatta. Banabhatta was his court poet, and an entire account of this king's early life written in fabulous Sanskrit that is available for us, because in ancient India very few rulers we get information, such a contemporary information, somebody who lived with that person and wrote about him. And another, which I think is more important, because a court poet obviously will write so many good things about a king, the one who patronizes him, the one who appreciates his literary acumen. But one foreigner who visited during the time of Harshavardhan, he was a Chinese pilgrim. We Indians pronounce him in different ways, Xuan Shuang or Yuan Shuang or Yuan Shuang. But generally, we know that around 7th century, this was the Chinese pilgrim who visited India. And today, when we Indians are a bit nervous about our relation with China, Indo-China relations are a little strained today. But certainly, India stands for peace. And in this peace building process, India's contact with China way back in 7th century AD, and an emperor of ancient time welcoming a Buddhist scholar to his court, giving him a lot of honor, and that pilgrim goes back to China and writes about China and writes about this king. And that's how a very strengthened relationship between India and China that gets built. Because after that, Harshavardhana sends envoys to China, Chinese send embassies to Harshavardhana's court, and this contact is made more or less permanent after that. So this is very important that we know about Harshavardhan. This Yuan son, when he came to India, his main intention was to learn Buddhism from the land of Buddha. Harshavardhana, to begin with, was not a Buddhist. He was a Shaivite. He followed Shaivism. But the beauty of the polity of this time in India is that may the ruler be follower of a particular faith, they used to be absolutely respectful and open to the other faiths. And that's how Harshavardhana was so happy to welcome a Chinese Buddhist pilgrim to his court. Now, this is something in the present disturbed times we can take as a wonderful inspiration coming from ancient India. It does not disturb a person having a particular faith, but respecting the other faith. So, Harshavardhan and Yuan Sing's close association is very important for us. What happened during that time? Harshavardhana convened a big, attended by thousands of people, many important rulers of the times, and many Buddhist and other scholars in his capital city, Kannauj. And Yuan was given the position of the main lead acharya, the main lead teacher in this conference. Now that is so important. This was to build bridges between various faiths and come to terms of acceptance of each other's principles. And this is what very importantly both these great personalities did. Harshavardhana from the Indian side and Yuan Sun from the Chinese side. Another thing is that Harshavardhana also generously donated to the Buddhist establishment at Nalanda. This Nalanda, the ancient site, is near Bakhtiyarpur in Bihar, and few decades ago, archaeological excavation was done at that place, and we have found that yes, there was a huge establishment, and that is to the level of being called a university. Now that university was established before the times of Harshavardhana, but Harshavardhana made sure that the university sustains economically, having its own source of income. How did he do it? He donated revenues of 100 villages to this center of learning. Now, just try to understand that the times were not so peaceful always. There used to be wars, there used to be ambitions of various kings, and in such situations, these institutions could be suffering because the royal patronage or the patronage coming from the important personalities will be hampered during such war times. But suppose if the institution has got the source of income of its own, then these difficult times, the times when there are wars also, the university will not be disturbed. So this is one of the biggest contributions that you can see of this king to the learning. And Yuan Sun.
Yes, I think he is also very literate, and I think he has written author of 3 Sanskrit books also, which later on.
Yes, of course. But yeah, I would certainly give a bit on that. But before that, Yuan Sun stayed in that university, University of Nalanda, and he has written his memoirs. So it is not just some Indians praising about their own king, but it is a foreigner, and that too a foreigner coming from China is writing about this king, his patronage to learning. Now coming to his own scholarship. This king Harshavardhan himself was a Sanskrit scholar, and there are some books credited to him, and we can see that how principles of polity and the king's benevolence, king being very supportive to his subjects as principle that he promotes through his writings. There are 3 dramas which are attributed to him. Those dramas in Sanskrit literature are taken as the best classics. So one is Nagananda, one is Ratnavali, and one is Priyadarshika. So in Nagananda, I think, which is very important for us to look, that king is trying to promote the principle of compassion, karuna, which is the highest principle in Buddhism, through his drama. The hero of the drama offers his own body, sacrifices himself to save a naga. Now, naga means a serpent. In the human hierarchy, we can say that it was a very lower being, right? It was just a creature. But a person tries to save that creature by sacrificing his own body. And that is the theme, that is the hero of Harshavardhana's drama. I think this is so much in tune with our ancient tradition of compassion, sacrifice, and trying to bring peace and trying to resolve the conflicts. Because this hero's sacrifice, he sacrificed his body to the eagle, Garuda, because Garudas, the eagles, they eat the snakes. So for saving the snake, this hero Jivutavahana, he offered his body. So then the Garuda had a remorse. He thought that I ate something which was not my food. I was not supposed to eat this person, I was supposed to eat a snake. So then he promised Jibutavahana that henceforth I will not hunt these snakes. So the snakes' lives were survived. So what I mean to say is that that kind of a tension, that kind of a conflict that was resolved by compassion, by sacrifice. And this king, you can imagine a king writing such a drama, what kind of ideal he is presenting before his people. So I think for today we can stop here, and in future maybe we can talk more about Harshavardhana's some other achievements. But I think if our young minds start reading more about it and knowing firsthand what this king has done from his own works and from the works of Banabhatta and Yuan Sung, it would be great. And also, as I said, that during these difficult times, the tension times between India and China, and when India is standing for peace, these ancient traditions of peaceful interaction between India and China, I think all of us, we must remember and respect. Thank you very much.
Yes, it is so pleasure to talk to you. And I just want to add one thing. Though he was a Shivite by religion, Harshvardhan, but he has given lot of freedom to Buddhism, and he is impressed by Buddhism. So we'll be discussing more about Harshvardhan in our coming series. For today, it is so wonderful to talk to you, madam. We'll be talking with you again on the same subject tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. You take care.
Namaste. Thank you.